Okay guys, we're starting our unit on fractions. Are you excited? I'm excited. I know you are. Okay, so let's look at what a fraction is. A fraction is a number that represents an equal part of a whole or equal part of a set. So let's look at example number 1. Danny shared his granola bar with Steph. He broke it into 2 equal pieces. What fraction of the granola bar did he receive? So here we have the model of the whole granola bar. A whole, 1, represents 1 whole. Now it says that he broke it into 2 equal parts, right? So if we look at that, we could say this is 1 part and 2 parts, right? Or better yet, let's do 1 and 2. Okay. So what fraction of tiles did you place? Well, we had 1 on top. And how many did we have on the bottom? 2. So each person received 1/2. 1 over 2. Or 1/2 of a whole granola bar. A unit fraction. A unit fraction represents 1 equal part of the whole. The top number of a unit fraction is 1. So here we have 1. That equals 1 whole. So 1 fraction is divided into 4 equal parts. What unit fraction represents 1 equal part of the whole? So let's see, we have 1 here, 1 part, okay? And then the whole was partitioned or broken apart, put into pieces, into 4 equal parts. So we have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. But if we look here, if we were to put them back together, they would give us that 1 whole again. So we can write 4 down here because it was partitioned into 4 equal parts. So the unit fraction is 1/4. Okay, let's turn the page. And you'll have to apologize for my wonky pages here. It's kind of the best picture I could take. But let's look at example number 3. Example number 3 says, Ian made a loaf of bread as his final project in health class. He divided the loaf equally among some students. Each student received 1/8 of the loaf. Into how many equal parts did Ian cut the loaf? So we could use fraction tiles, except for that I can't really do that with you right now. But we're going to have to figure it out. We'll have to draw it. We have 1 whole and 1/8 because it says he cut it into 8 equal parts. So to model 1 whole and 1 whole divided into equal parts, let's draw the model. Okay, so let's use this one. All right, so let's say this is my whole, right? I'm going to go back and get a little bit smaller and use a different color maybe. If I were to break this up into 8 equal parts. Okay, so let's break this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so count the equal parts. There are 8 equal parts. Label each equal size part 1/8. So 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. So Ian cut the loaf into 8 equal parts, or 8. Okay, so now let's do a little guided practice. Divide the whole into equal parts. Then label each part with its fraction. So on here, it has us divide, on number 1, 2 equal parts. So if we were going to divide this bar into 2 equal parts, right about there, we would need to label it with its unit fraction. So this is 1 part of 2, and this is 1 part of 2. Okay? Number 2 says 4 equal parts. So let's see if I can't do 1 and 2, 3, 4. Well, those aren't quite as equal as I wish they were, but we're going to pretend they are. So we have 1/4 here, 1/4, 1 part out of 4, and 1 part out of 4. Okay, on number 3 it says 8 equal parts. And so in order to try to keep myself equal here, I'm going to put a line in the middle and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on that side. You're going to try the best. I'm not able to really do it. So if you just put 1/8, I get it. It's fine. Okay, so let's turn the page into some independent practice. Number 4 says divide the whole into equal parts and then label each part with its unit fraction. So that's just what we did. So number 4 is having us do 3 equal parts. So let's see if we can get these as equal as we can. It's good enough for me. This would be 1/3. This would be 1/3, and this is 1/3, right? 1 part of 3. 6 equal parts. Oh boy. So let's see. We would need to do, that's 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts, 4, 5, and 6. So each one of these you would label 1 part out of 6. Now let's look at number 6. How many equal parts shade 1 part and then write its unit fraction? So I'm going to choose a different color now, just so we can see. How about red? Okay. All right. So how many equal parts are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to shade 1 part. And how many parts is that? That would be 1 equal part of 4, right? So let's shade. Oh, they have us a place to write the unit fraction. So we're going to write 1 and 4 there. All right, so let's shade part of number 7. And that would be 2 equal parts. And then we shaded 1 part of 2. Number 8, how many equal parts do we see there? 1, 2, 3 equal parts. We're going to shade 1 of those. We're going to write that we shaded 1 of 3 equal parts. Number 9, how many equal parts do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 equal parts. If we shade 1 of those, we would shade 1/3. Circle the correct unit fraction for the shaded section of each model. So we have number 10. We have how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many parts are shaded? Just 1 part, right? So we're going to circle 1/4. Okay, let's look at number 11. How many shaded parts we have, or how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there's 8 equal parts. How many is shaded? Just 1. So we are going to circle 1/8. Is that starting to make sense? I really hope so. Okay, let's look at number 12. How many equal parts do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know right off the bat that this is going to be 6. How many parts are shaded? 1. So we can go ahead and circle 1/6. Okay, number 11. How many equal parts do we have? 1 and 2. So we know we're going to have 2. How many parts are shaded? 1. So it's 1/2. Number 14, how many equal parts do we have? 1, 2, and 3. So we know our denominator over here is going to be 3. How many parts are shaded? 1. We can circle 1/3. Okay, number 15. Let's count how many equal parts we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we know it's going to be 6 as a denominator. Only 1 part is shaded. We can go ahead and circle 1/6. Okay, let's turn the page and work on some word problems. I know that these are your favorite, guys. They're my favorite too. Just kidding, they're not. But together we can get these done. Okay, so let's look at number 16. Max folded a piece of paper in half. Then he folded it in half one more time. How many equal-sized parts did he have when he opened the paper? What unit fraction represents each part? Okay, so let's see. Max folded a paper in half. So I'm going to just write 1/2 here. Or actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to pretend that this is my piece of paper. Okay, so he folded it in half, right? Then he folded it in half one more time. So that would become a half, and that would become a half, right? How many equal-sized parts did he have when he opened it up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What unit fraction represents each part? Okay, so the whole we have 4 parts. So the denominator is going to be 4. Each part is like, remember when we labeled it over there, this would be 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. So the unit fraction would be 1/4. Okay, let's do number 17. Jenny is holding a fraction tile labeled 1/3. How many 1/3 fraction tiles are needed to equal the fraction tile labeled 1? Okay, so we have 1/3. What does that tell us? That tells us that we have 1 part of 3. So if this is my whole, and I'm to say this is 1 part of 3, this is 1 part of 3, and this is 1 part of 3, right? 1, 2, 3. This is 1 part of it, another part, and 1. Okay? So how many did I need? Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. I needed 3 parts. Okay, 18. Mr. Klinger divided the gymnasium floor into 8 equal sections. Draw lines to divide the whole into equal parts and then label each part with its unit fraction. All right, we're going to pretend this is my gym floor. He wants 8 equal parts. Let me get my little pen. Okay, so I'm going to divide it in half first, right? There's 1. So now I have 2 parts. I'm going to divide that in half. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a total of 8 parts, but each part represents 1 part. So if I'm going to label these, I would label 1 part of 8, 1 part of 8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, because the whole is an 1/8, and I've broken it into 8 equal pieces. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the hot problems. Okay, I want this all to sink in. I want you to do your homework, which is page 573 and 574, and I will see you guys again on our next lesson.